Today we are diving into the world of musical masterpieces that accompanied us during the best moments of playing on the legendary Sega Mega Drive. Music played an essential role immersing us in the atmosphere and emotion of the games. Let's explore the 10 coolest music intros that have become an inseparable part of gaming history. We can start the list without one of the most iconic themes of all time, Sonic the Hedgehog. The title screen music is not just memorable, it's embedded in our minds. The melody captures the feeling of speed and boundless energy, which became Sonic's signature. This track was composed by Masato Nakamura, who worked on most of the Sonic soundtracks. The song is dynamic and energetic, created using the limited instruments available at the time. Nakamura used an FM synthesizer to craft the sound, perfectly reflecting Sonic's speed and movement. And, as we can see, it worked wonders. Next up is Streets of Rage 2, where the music became an essential part of the game's style. The street fights, the tension, and the adrenaline are all enhanced by the incredible soundtrack by Yuzo Koshiro. He used synthesizers and drum machines to give the music a unique electronic sound. Koshiro was one of the first composers to blend synthesizers with live instruments, creating a modern sounds for the early 90s. Many fans compare this soundtrack to the club music of the time, and its rhythm perfectly matches the street brawls in the game. Now let's move to Gunstar Heroes, a game that broke all the platformer rules. The music grabs your attention from the start with its incredible energy and drive. The composer, Kazuo Hanzawa, created a soundtrack that matches the action-packed gameplay. Hanzawa blends techno, rock, jazz, and even funk in the soundtrack, which was a bold move for its time. His approach to music was unconventional, and that's what made Gunstar Heroes so unique. Phantasy Star 4 is not just an RPG, it's a whole cosmic epic. The music here is breathtaking, with orchestral elements and a deep, grand sound that gives the game a sense of scale and drama. Composer Izuho Numata poured soul into every note. Izuho Numata used a special approach to create orchestral compositions, which was a huge challenge given the technical limitations of Sega Mega Drive. Using complex synthesizers and sound effects, the music feels like a full orchestra rather than just a 16-bit game soundtrack. For Castlevania Bloodlines, the music reflects the dark and gothic style of the game. The melodies take us into a world of vampires and monsters. The composer Michiru Yamana crafted a soundtrack that adds atmosphere to this spooky adventure. Yamana combined classical music with heavy rock sounds, creating a unique atmosphere for Bloodlines. Many consider this soundtrack one of the most emotional in the Castlevania series. Toy Gem Earl is a game that didn't take itself too seriously, but it was incredibly fun. The music here is funky, cheerful, and has jazz and electronic elements. Composer John Baker created soundtracks that gets you grooving right away. John Baker wanted to capture the vibe of the 70s in the music. He studied jazz motifs and blended them into a video game context, which was quite daring for the time. Altered Beast is one of the first games to really showcase the power of the Sega Mega Drive. The music here is loud, epic and even mystical, creating an unforgettable adventure atmosphere. Composer Toru Nakabayashi created this iconic soundtrack. It's one of the loudest and most memorable soundtracks on Sega Mega Drive. Shinobi Street: Return of the Ninja Master is an energetic adventure and the music doesn't lag behind. Composers Morihiko Akiyama, Masayuki Nagao, and Hirofumi Murasaki created music that blends Japanese motifs with electronic sounds, adding an extra layer of uniqueness to the game. Composers incorporated traditional Japanese music elements and modern synthesized sounds. This combination created a unique style that set Shinobi 3 apart from other games in the series. Next up is Ristar, a game that amazes with its brightness and optimism. The soundtrack, composed by Tomoko Sasaki, captures the very essence of the game and takes us on a fun adventure. Tomoko Sasaki is known for creating harmonic and pleasant compositions that stick with you after just one listen. The Ristar soundtrack is one of the most melodic and cozy ones on the Sega Mega Drive. Finally, we wrap up with the legendary Earthbound Jim. The music in this game is explosive. It combines so many styles, from jazz to rock, creating a fun and eccentric atmosphere. Composer Mark Miller experimented with different styles, and the result is a dynamic and energetic soundtrack that remains one of the most memorable on the Sega Mega Drive.